I was just scuba diving when I accidentally dropped my watch, but that mistake led me to a discovery that could change my life. I immediately told my friends about it. When I went back down to look for my watch, I spotted a strange stone. After years of treasure hunting, I recognized it right away as an old ballast stone from a sailing ship. Stones like that are often found near ancient shipwrecks loaded with treasure. As soon as I realized what it was, I swam back to the surface and told the 3 people on the boat what I'd found. We got to work right away. We grabbed mops and brooms and headed back underwater to start searching. After a while, I found something buried in the sand. When I pulled it out, I realized it was a gold dagger that had been underwater for hundreds of years. Finding something that rare meant there was a good chance an even bigger treasure was still waiting below. I couldn't help getting excited. If I could find the shipwreck, I might walk away with a fortune. To search more efficiently, we went into town and bought a bunch of detection equipment. Then we came straight back to the site and started a more thorough search. First, we marked off the area with ropes. Then we swept it carefully with metal detectors. Before long, one of the detectors picked up a signal. I had my teammate use an underwater blower to clear away the top layer of sand. A thick iron chain slowly came into view. I could tell there was something much bigger buried underneath, so I told my teammate to turn up the power. As the sand was blown aside, the buried object finally appeared. It was an old cannon that had been sitting there for centuries. We quickly tied ropes around both ends of the cannon and inflated lift bags on each side. Working together, we slowly raised the massive cannon off the seabed. Just as we were about to bring it back to the boat, the teammate staying on board suddenly heard an alarm. The Coast Guard was out doing a routine inspection. I knew exactly what that meant. If we brought the cannon onto the boat, the treasure site would be exposed, and the authorities would probably take over the whole operation. We'd end up with nothing. To avoid that, I told my teammate to let a little air out of the lift bag so the cannon could stay underwater. But he made a mistake and released all the air. The cannon, weighing several thousand pounds, dropped straight to the bottom. His arm got tangled in the rope, and he was dragged down with it. When the cannon hit the seabed, it landed right on his arm. Things got even worse because we were almost out of air. We had no choice but to take turns breathing the little oxygen we had left. I knew we were running out of time, so my girlfriend and I tried everything we could to free him, but the cannon was simply too heavy. No matter how hard we tried, it wouldn't move. I realized that if we waited any longer, none of us might make it out. So I took off my own air tank and emptied every bit of air into the lift bags. Then my girlfriend and I gave it everything we had. We finally lifted the cannon just a few inches, and that was enough to pull him free and save his life. By the time I got back to the surface, the Coast Guard was already gone. Even after everything that happened, I wasn't about to give up. Finding that old cannon only convinced me even more that a treasure-filled shipwreck was hidden somewhere in those waters. The next day, we expanded our search area and kept looking for anything left on the ocean floor. Then we came across a huge field of twisted metal. I followed the wreckage until I saw a crashed airplane resting underwater. I rushed back to the surface and told everyone what I'd found. We all dove back down to check it out. But the moment I stepped inside the plane, what I saw stopped me in my tracks.